You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Ria Tanwat Cotrillo. The country has recorded its first cases of COVID-19 Omicron variant XBB.1.5 and CH.1.1. The Department of Health urges the public to get vaccinated and boosted and continue following the minimum public health standards. Our source today, infectious diseases expert Doctor Rontgene Solante. Dr. Solante, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Ria. Good morning.
Now, as you heard there, Doctor, the Health Department detected new cases of the Omicron subvariants, the first case of XBB 1.5 and 3 cases of CH 1.1. Tell us, how concerning first is the XBB 1.5?
Okay, XBB.1.5 is a sublineage of the Omicron variant, which we already have for the past 12 months or almost 1 year now, with the different subvariants being documented here in the Philippines. And this latest one, the XBB.1.5, has been found to be present also in more than 50 countries now, causing slight increase in the cases. But again, this is a highly evasive type of subvariant of Omicron that can be resistant to the antibodies that we develop from vaccines or even from antibodies that we develop from infections, Ria.
So is it more infectious than the other variants? And what about the severity of symptoms that present?
Well, so far among the subvariants of Omicron, they considered XBB.1.5 as the most highly transmissible. So meaning it can be potentially causing increase in the cases in countries where there will be less number of people that are vaccinated or the population immunity will be low. And it is also expected that it can overtake some of the previous Omicron subvariants like BA.2 and BA.5. And I think it's important for us to monitor this XBB.1.5, that cases will not be very high, and we still continue to go for the vaccines, no? And including the health protocol that we have to be vigilant with.
What about its symptoms po, itong si XBB 1.5?
The data coming from the US, in which this is the country where majority of the cases of XBB.1.5 has been documented, are quite, the cases are most of the time are mild. But being mild in most general population, and especially for those who are fully vaccinated and boosted, you just can't predict that this will also be the same symptoms for the vulnerable population. And that's why the important part here is that we need to really monitor the cases and the hospitalization rate. But we don't expect that this will really cause a more severe form of the manifestations in most of the general population.
All right, that is good to hear at least. Doctor, punta naman po tayo sa CH.1.1. What do we know about this one?
Okay, CH.1.1 is still a new subvariant of Omicron. No? This is a subvariant again of BA.2.75. So there are additional mutations here that are predicted to make this subvariant of an Omicron that will behave most likely the same as that with XBB.1.5, meaning it can be highly transmissible and can also be resistant to the antibodies of most of the vaccines that we have, including the bivalent vaccine, and again, also can cause more or less mild type of infection, just like what has been experienced in other countries.
All right, so in terms of transmissibility and severity, it's similar to XBB.1.5, so it can spread very easily, but for the general population, it would present with pretty mild symptoms. Are we worried that these new variants or these sublineages are going to lead to a spike in cases?
Well, I would expect there will be a slight uptick of cases, especially for those individuals whose vaccines are not updated, no? Particularly those who have not yet received the booster doses, or those qualified to receive the second booster, then I think we really need to emphasize the importance again of completing and updating our vaccine status. And Ria, I would like to specifically again remind everyone that it's important for us to still wear the face mask, especially in indoor settings or in crowded areas, no? Because the face mask is really our important protection against this highly evasive and highly transmissible subvariants of an Omicron.
Yeah, good reminders there, Doctor. Now we have these bivalent vaccines that are expected to arrive, I think, by next month. How urgent is the need for these bivalent vaccines, and can they protect from these new sublineages?
Well, there are factors here to consider who should be given this bivalent. Number one, we should be prioritizing this bivalent vaccine against for the protection of the vulnerable population. Now, I would like to just mention this, Ria. There are data to tell us that when this vaccine, the antibody produced by this vaccine, and was tested with the XBB.1.5, it seems that the protection is like in the US, the data is telling us it can protect us against getting the infection around 40 to 60%. So which means that a good number of percentage of protection will be coming from this vaccine, and a higher protection, particularly against severe disease. So this is important at this point in time, that if we'll be giving this, or it will be available in the Philippines, then we should prioritize the vulnerable population, those who are immunocompromised, those with comorbid conditions like heart disease, pulmonary disease, or even diabetes, because these are the population that when they will get this even mild type of COVID infections, we can never tell that it can proceed to a severe form of COVID infection.
That's right, Doctor. Thank you so much for talking to us here on The Source. We always appreciate your expertise. That was infectious diseases expert, Dr. Rontgene Solante. And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Ria Tanwaco Trillo. You're watching CNN Philippines.